Yo, and welcome to the video. Before we get into it, if you're a subscriber, hello. If you're brand new, go and check my channel out, and if you like what you see, give it a subscribe. Right, so this video is a start to a weekly episode which I'm going to do on my channel. It consists of me talking to you guys about what is happening in the upcoming week of sport and what my predictions and thoughts are. So I understand that you might not all be interested in some of the things that I talk about, so here's a little timestamps of each topic and where I start talking about them, and you can just pick and choose whichever you want. So go and click on that now, and then you can start the video. In the comments below, if you have something that you want me to talk about or something that's up and coming on a sport you really like, if I know anything about it or any thoughts on it, I'll certainly put it in there for you guys. So let me know and we'll go from there. Let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy. Right, so the first topic I'm going to be talking about is game week 30 of the Premier League. We've got some absolutely amazing games coming up for this weekend. Right, start us off, Watford versus Leicester, the early kick-off, 12:30. This is one of the games where I think that is going to cause a bit of an upset. I think Watford could be well up for this game, and I think they will be, as they've just crept out of the relegation zone, but they want to distance themselves from the rest of the pack of the likes of Bournemouth and West Ham, Aston Villa as well. So they're going to be right up for this game, and it's at home supporters. Leicester aren't in the greatest of form recently. In their last 5 games, they've only won one of them, which was on Monday night where they beat Aston Villa 4-0. But the rest of them, yeah, they've had 2 draws and 2 losses, so we don't know. But Vardy managed to score a brace on Monday, so could he be back in form? We don't know. Nigel Pearson is going to get these boys right up for this game, so overall I think it's going to be a 2-0 to Watford. Next up, we got our 3 o'clock games to start off with Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. Again, one of the teams where they're fighting for relegation, Bournemouth are, which surprised me really from the start of the season. I sort of expected them to be, you know, 14th, 13th, 12th sort of thing, sort of mid-table really, but they've really had a dip in form quite recent, well, over the last sort of 10-15 games really. They've been pretty poor. On the other hand, Crystal Palace have won their last 3 in a row, so all they're going to want to be doing is just carrying on the momentum and keeping the good form up. But Bournemouth need a result to get out of the pack as well, same as Watford's situation. They just want to be out of this relegation battle and just make sure that they secure themselves for next year really. So I am going to go for a draw in this game, of a 1-1 draw between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Next up, we've got Brighton versus Arsenal. You can never really predict what Arsenal do. In one week they'll be amazing, the other week they'll just scrape a draw or something like that. Brighton sitting in 15th place with 29 points. Again, not out of the relegation zone. They're going to want to be winning, so they'll be right up for it as well. But overall, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one between Brighton and Arsenal. So next up, we've got Man City Burnley, another game which I think is going to cause a bit of an upset. Burnley been on great form recently, drawing to Tottenham last week, and then prior to that, out of a possible 18, I think they've got about 13 points. So, you know, they're in great form compared to Man City losing the derby last week to Man United. Not been on fantastic form. With a few injuries with De Bruyne and Walker and stuff like that. We don't know if they'll be back yet, so it all depend on that. So my prediction of that is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two of them. I think Burnley are going to get a result of some sort in there, so I've gone for a safe option of a draw. Next up, we've got Newcastle versus Sheffield. This is going to be a very hard game for Sheffield, even though they are absolutely flying in the Premier League at the moment. Newcastle as well at home. Fantastic win against Southampton last week. It'll be very tough, but I actually do think that Newcastle will get a result, and I think Steve Bruce will really ramp his boys up. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Newcastle. The final game to kick off at 3 o'clock is Norwich Southampton. I don't know about this one. It's going to be a difficult one. Again, Norwich right at the bottom of the table, but beating Leicester a couple of weeks back. Southampton losing to Newcastle as well. So we don't fully know what's gonna happen there. So my prediction on that is actually going to be a Southampton win, just because I don't know if Norwich are going to be right up for it, but we don't know. So I'm going to go for a Southampton win. Then we move on to the 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday, which is Aston Villa versus Chelsea. This again is another one where I think could go either way. Aston Villa, I watched them play against Spurs a couple of weeks back where they lost 3-2. They were very unlucky to lose that. Son scored in the 94th minute or something ridiculous like that. It was just last kick of the game, so I felt very sorry for them. But what I did notice is that Aston Villa can really play football, especially against the bigger teams. They really step up. But on the other hand, Chelsea have hit a great run of form with beating Everton 4-0 and Liverpool 2-0. With that Billy Gilmour coming in, he's taken to the Premier League very well and almost seems to fit in very well, really. I'm actually going to go for a Chelsea win overall, just purely on form and the ability side of things. Even though they've got injuries, Chelsea, they seem to have something brilliant in that Billy Gilmour. I think he is absolutely quality and will be something very big in the future. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Chelsea. Then we move on to the Sunday games. Start at the 2 o'clock kickoff. It's West Ham versus Wolves. West Ham, I really don't see them getting anywhere this year. I don't know. I think they're in real trouble. Internally, they're in trouble, and on the field, I really don't see them getting through this year, and I actually do think that they will get relegated this season. They're playing Wolves, 6th in the league at the moment. They're just a great team. They've really surprised us over the last 2 years, so I think that it is going to be a 2-0 win to Wolves. And then the late kickoff on Sunday, it's Tottenham versus Man United. My boys, they are playing fantastic at the moment, unbeaten in 10. Bruno Fernandes just really coming in and releasing a new life in the team, and it's fantastic to see as a United fan. Tottenham, on the other hand, have got some horrible injuries, with Harry Kane still out and Son still out, and then Bergwijn recently got an injury as well. So 3 massive players that are out there. So even though it is at the Tottenham ground, I will be going for yes, it is going to be a little bit biased, but I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Man United, just purely on the level that we're at, and Tottenham seem to be really struggling at the moment. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-0 win. Big win that would be for United. So yeah. And to end it all off, we've got probably arguably the biggest game of them all. It's the Merseyside derby. It's Liverpool versus Everton. This is going to be carnage there. Of recent form, Liverpool went 1-0 down to Bournemouth on Saturday. They lost to Watford the week before. They've not quite been right the last couple of games. They've kind of took their eye off the ball a little bit, I think. But that being said, Everton did lose to Chelsea 3-0, but they drew to Man United. So 2 completely different results there in the space of a week, which was quite weird. So I don't really know how it's going to go, but I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool by the end of it. I think that they're going to really be up for this, and this might really kickstart them even more. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. So that is all my predictions. All of them are here. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are there some that are out there, or are they just about right for you? So let me know in the comments below. That would be my accumulator this week. We'll see what happens. You can never predict football these days, you know what I mean? But yeah. Right, let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic we're going to be talking about is the F1. It is the start of the season this week. Australian Grand Prix, I cannot wait. Last year I got really into F1 and I absolutely love watching it now. I've watched it every weekend last year, so I will certainly be doing it this week too. So in this, I'm going to give you my predictions of what I think the top 5 drivers are going to be and the top 3 constructors are going to be. My predictions are a bit out there, but I have a lot of reason for it as well. Right, so let's get into it. So these are my top 5 in order of who I think is going to come in the championship. To start straight off the bat, of number 1, I think Lewis Hamilton. I don't see anyone really passing him just yet. This is not really up for debate, really. I personally don't think. So I think he will win his 7th Grand Prix title. In second place, however, I have gone for someone different other than last year. I've gone for Max Verstappen of the Red Bull car. I'm a big fan of Max Verstappen. He was only 40 points off Bottas last year, and I think he'll pip in this year. The Red Bull car's got a tiny bit better. That year older, gained a little bit more experience, so I expect him to win a couple more races next year. So my third spot is Valtteri Bottas of the Mercedes car. I'm a massive fan of Valtteri Bottas. I think that he is very shadowed by Lewis Hamilton and deserves a lot more credit than he actually gets. Week in, week out, Bottas is getting results, very much a team player, as well as winning some races as well. So I still think that Max Verstappen will just pip him for second place this year. Right, so my fourth spot goes to Charles Leclerc. He's a funny one really, because he has the capability to come second in the championship in my eyes, but he just doesn't quite have the experience to do it week in, week out. Some races where he'll get pole and then he'll finish 4th, or he'll crash or something like that, like in Baku. and in Germany as well. So I personally don't think that he has the ability to do it every week, and that's what you need to get your top threes. He came fourth last year, so I'm going to put him fourth again this year. But don't get me wrong, he had a fantastic season last year in the Ferrari car, beat everyone's expectations, winning a couple of times in Monza, won his first one in Belgium, and there was a few that he probably should have won as well, like the Bahrain and Austrian. That's my reason for putting him fourth, because I don't think that he has the capability to do it every single week and be competing with everyone. So yeah, that is why I've put him in fourth place. Right, so in fifth place, I've gone for someone a bit controversial, but I've got a reason behind putting him in fifth place. So I've actually gone for Carlos Sainz for fifth place, because I think that he can outscore Albon and Vettel as well. I thought Vettel was poor last year. I thought that towards the end of the season he didn't want to be there, didn't want to race, didn't want to get in an F1 car. I don't know, he didn't give off a great vibe. And Alex Albon in the Red Bull picked it up halfway through the season, and yeah, he did have some good results and is a fantastic driver, but I still don't think that he can do it every week, and in the rain he's terrible as well. So we can't knock Carlos Sainz. Towards the end of the season, he got his first podium for McLaren in a couple of years, which is massive for them. He's got a fantastic teammate in Lando Norris, which will support him. So I really think that McLaren are going to do really well this season. I don't think they'll get into the top three, but I think that they're going to really start to close the gap. Yeah, that's why I've put Carlos Sainz to be fifth, because I think that he is going to be a very consistent driver this year, and I expect him to do very well. Very controversial, but my reason behind it. So then we move on to the Constructors' Championship. Straight off the bat, again, no debate. I think that Mercedes will top it again. The team of Bottas and Hamilton is just brilliant. Bottas being a very much team player, and then Hamilton just sort of out of this world and winning. Like last year, he won over 10 races or something. So just crazy numbers. With the car strengthening even more from last year, I think that they will top it again. In second place, I've gone for a controversial one again, but I think that as a team, I think that drivers of Max Verstappen and Alex Albon are better than Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel, just purely on the fact that I don't think Vettel... The thing with Vettel is that I think that he's either going to do really well or he's going to not want to be there again, and all he's there for is the money. That's the kind of vibe he gave off last season, sort of thing. I don't know. So that's why I've put Red Bull as second, because I think that Alex Albon's going to support Max Verstappen a bit more, and I think that Max will certainly get up the points levels a bit more. So that's why I've gone for Red Bull to be second, which leaves Ferrari third. Charles Leclerc, I believe, again, will have more points than Sebastian Vettel in qualifying and in race points as well. So Charles Leclerc will certainly carry Vettel. Yeah, that is why I've gone for Ferrari to be third. But yeah, as regards to Australian, I don't know. It's a difficult one. We don't know we don't know fully about the cars yet. But I'm going to go for a Mercedes double podium and a Ferrari third. I think it's either going to be Bottas or Hamilton to win this one. Bottas won it last year. The year before, Sebastian Vettel won it. So it's a mixture for both of them. But I do think Mercedes will come up on top again, because just that little bit better than Ferrari. Right, so that is it for the F1 predictions. Here are your times. They're really early in the morning, because it's bloody the other side of the world. I'm certainly going to watch qualifying and race day as well. So looking forward to it. Start of the season. Let's see what it has in store, and I know it's going to be a good one. Leave a comment down below of what you think and what you think of my ideas, and whether you think I'm absolutely deluded or not. But yeah, there's reason behind my madness of why I've predicted what I've predicted. So yeah, see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Right, so the third topic we're talking about is the Players' Championship, the fifth major. Really excited for this one at TPC Sawgrass. The famous 17th hole looking on. Yeah, cannot wait to see it. My predictions on it. So going off last week's performance, I don't think Tyrrell Hatton will win it, but Rory played last week and he is just in the form of his life. World number one, and quite rightly so. He is just performing week in, week out, top 10 result every week, and most of them have been in the top 5. So he's just been in a very consistent and very good form at the moment. He's playing with Brooks Koepka and John Rahm, who are 2 and 3, well number 2s and 3s as well. Both of them I tipped to be winning it as well. Brooks Koepka is a difficult one really, because he's had a very slow burn into the start of the season. Last week he played in the Invitational, got a +9 result, so we don't know if he's in the best of form yet. This certainly could be a turning point for him in the season for the majors coming up with the Masters, so definitely someone you can't write off. John Rahm as well being well number 2, he's, you know, I really like him. He is just a great player, and again, very consistent and can certainly produce results. Here in the final round, I looked at it the other day, there was a 2-shot swing of about 30 players on the last day, so it's so tight, and I expect it to be a tight competition again. We also can't forget Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth, both playing together on the first 2 days. I really think that that is a great group for them as individuals as well, because they're all fantastic friends, and if one's playing well, I think that they'll all play well as well. Certainly Justin Thomas, who I've rated ever since he came on the tour. Brilliant player, an absolute talent, and I'm a massive fan of him. Probably my favourite American for sure, and I certainly think that he will win a major this year. Yeah, Woods is out, unfortunately, with injury again. Not ideal for him to be injured. Would have loved to have seen him play, but probably means that he definitely will be playing, or he is going to be fit for the Masters. So my predictions is one of 3 players. I think that Justin Thomas is a big favourite to win this, and my other wild card, but he shouldn't be a wild card. Why we keep saying he's a wild card these days, because he hasn't won yet on the PGA Tour, is Tommy Fleetwood. Big up the English boy. He's a fantastic player, the most consistent player past Rory, and I think he's a great golfer, and again, I think he could win a major this year as well. So this would be a great start to win the Players and really get his confidence up in America. Tommy Fleetwood is certainly one to watch and pip everyone to the post. And then obviously we can't forget the elephant in the room, Rory McIlroy, in the form of his life at the moment, and he's really swinging the ball well, and you can just see and watching him how confident and how fit he is, and he knows that. He knows that he's good. Certainly something that's improved over the last couple of years to make him more consistent is his putting. The only thing that let him down the last couple of years, tee to green brilliant, and then on the green missing 3-footers sort of thing. So he's really cut out that, and that's why he's producing such fantastic results, and deservedly number 1. And that's it for my Players Championship predictions. All the times are here for when it's on. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, who you think is going to win it, or who do you think is going to surprise us in this last competition. Right, so the fourth and final topic we're going to be talking about today is the Six Nations crisis, the sport being heavily affected by the coronavirus. Nothing we can really do about it, to be honest, but it's annoying. I was actually meant to go to the France-Ireland game that has been postponed this weekend, which is annoying. So they're being played on the 31st of October. That's when we've been rescheduled to watch it. Long way away, long way to wait. But I really think that Ireland can overturn France and maybe, with a couple of bonus points, clinch the Six Nations title. So yeah, so England being back into the mix as well. They've still got to play Italy, in which they will need a bonus point to win it. But Ireland have also got to play Italy and France as well. So to get a win and a bonus point from both of them as well would be ideal. A bonus point from both of them would probably see us win it, but we don't 100% know. We don't know yet. But we'll just have to see. We won't know now till October. So that's fantastic, isn't it? Brilliant. But yeah, that's the end of my predictions for the Six Nations. I just wanted to rant about the crisis that's happening. Really upset that we didn't get to go to Paris this weekend to watch Ireland play. Would have been a great game, and both teams massively up for it. But yeah, leave a comment what you think as well about it, and whether you can wait that long to find out the results, because I know I can't. I just want to get it over and done with and see what's going to happen. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this new weekly video that I'm going to be doing. Also leave a comment of anything that is coming up in the next couple of weeks, of what you want to hear about, and if I know anything about it, I'll give my prediction and my views, certainly. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much. I've been Molesy, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later. Money work.